In the past few weeks, I've been dealing with a lack of creativity for the content of this channel. And also, I feel like I needed some kind of privacy. I really like to take you along with me when I'm traveling. But when I'm here at home, I don't feel like I need to be showing you when I wake up and I make coffee all the time. And that is something that I need to respect for myself and I need to validate. But I didn't lack the idea and the feeling that I want to keep creating valuable content where I can help someone just maybe with a word or two. And after receiving a message from one of you on my DMs on my Instagram, you can follow me at Cabrera Music. A woman actually asking me for help. I noticed how much I can inspire you without me even noticing. So that's how it clicked on me, this idea of creating this small series of only 10 episodes as podcast, where I'm going to be sharing different topics that you have selected on my Instagram that women need to hear and discuss and maybe just think a little how you feel in your life in that matter, comparing to maybe what I'm sharing of my own experiences here. So welcome to the Women's Talk. Before we start this episode, I want to introduce you to the sponsor of this series. My Sweet Gratitude is a luxury body butter created with the best organic ingredients to nurture and moisturize your skin to give you the self-care that you deserve. If you want to get it, just click on the link in my description and it will be yours. Today I want to talk about following your dreams or chasing your dreams, pursuing them, achieving them, and also giving them up. From the things that you have been able to see in my channel, since I'm a constant person and I post videos, there's a whole life that you haven't seen, and because of that, that's that I haven't lived it. But I can tell you that I've learned a lot from it. And I can tell you that the things that I'm living right now, I dreamed it a long time ago. And I know for a lot of people may look like I am very lucky, that I'm lucky to travel, I'm lucky to live out of my passions, and I'm lucky to live the life that I live. But a lot of people don't see the years of uncertainty, confusion, fear, sacrifice, self-doubt, lack of consistency, and persistence that I have behind every dream. So today I really want to share with you from my life experiences what it really means for me to pursue my dreams. I think it's very important to clarify that for me, there are different types of dreams. I've always been a dreamer since I'm very little. I'm already in touch with my passions. And I have always wanted a lot of things. So I had to become someone that was able to discern what was like a real dream that was really meant for me someday in my life, and other dreams that would eventually vanish in time, because there were not really dreams. There were more just vague desires that would disappear eventually when I just forget about them. And actually all of them are okay. There are many things that were just simple desires and I achieved them. And there are many big dreams that I have and I had my entire life that I haven't reached yet. I think there are some topics that you all know me the most, and probably is traveling, the music, the content creation in general, podcasting, and motherhood. And those dreams have actually evolved. Some of them, I had them my entire life. I've been in touch with my music career since I am very little, since I'm a child. I've been in touch with my traveling desire since I'm very little. But I haven't been connected to my motherhood desire my entire life. I wasn't someone that grew up dreaming about finding the perfect husband and getting married, and dreaming with a white dress. I wasn't. And even though I've been dreaming about my music career in many ways, I don't dream it the same way that I dream it today. The life that I have today isn't the life that I dreamed when I was 20. It's actually what is meant to be, and probably much better. But I could have never imagined it back then. I know many people may be thinking, okay, Rocio, yes, you are a dreamer, you know what you want, you know a lot of things that you desire or wish to have, or anything, but I don't know my passions. I don't have dreams. I don't have anything. And I know many people feel that way. I do believe that God has planted a seed in all of us. Like he didn't miss any of us. Maybe we just didn't dig enough within ourselves. Maybe you just settled for a life that was convenient for you in a comfort zone. Maybe you really sacrificed your entire life for others. So I really want to invite you to take a moment to think about the things that you would say, oh, if I would do this, it would really make me smile. It would really bring me joy. Sometimes making a dream come true doesn't mean to have an entire life around it, or it doesn't mean to turn a passion into a way of living. Maybe you didn't even took the time to think what your dream is because you were there pleasing others or giving your life for others and forgetting about yourself. And don't blame yourself for that. Probably it was what you needed to do in that time of your life. But what if you give yourself the opportunity today to dream a little bit? In my case, being a dreamer, it was very overwhelming. It wasn't easy to have so many things that I want to achieve and deal with the whole process of that. The thing is, when you have a dream, you don't need the entire vision. You only need to take one step. And Rocio from the past would have been very grateful to hear this today. There is one big myth that has stopped thousands and thousands of dreams. And it's one day I'll be ready. One day I will have that money. One day I will have more confidence. One day I will have time. Come on, how many times we said that? Most dreams are built before you're ready. What chasing dreams actually looks like. Chasing a dream is not glamorous. It's not Instagram worthy. Making the decision to pursue a dream, it will make you swim in an ocean of all the feelings and sensations available in this human life, okay? Chasing a dream has consequences. Let's talk about rejection. You will get multiple no's in your life, especially with those maybe big dreams or even the small dreams. And I guess when you walk through rejection is when you will actually notice how much you care about that dream or desire. You can give up easily just because you get one or two no's, or you can just keep going after hundreds of no's. Because you believe in yourself enough that you are meant to do that. Maybe you will have to start over and over and over and over until your body is tired, until your soul is tired, until your heart is tired, until you feel like you cannot anymore. And you will feel probably like you're just in the wrong path. This is not for me. Like, what am I doing? And that will happen a lot of times. So I believe that actually pursuing a dream is one of the biggest acts of resilience that you can explore. You will feel like that dream will fail a lot of times. Maybe you're lucky enough that you just try it a couple of times and then you get it. Because sometimes it happens. But having that feeling of failure multiple times, it is also what requires from us to build us. Because sometimes the dream is not really the destination, but it's who you become while you pursue it. The lonely moments, not everyone will be there while you are pursuing, when you achieve. And sometimes it looks funny that, you will see more faces when you achieve, when you are celebrating, and no one was there while you will actually hike in the mountain. And that is funny. But something that I've learned as well is, if I can give you a small example, it's growing my social media into numbers that look a little bigger. And the truth is I have a lot of likes and comments and people watching my content that are absolutely strangers. And rarely I see my friends commenting or liking or things like that. And at the beginning, I was really frustrated. At the beginning, I was really expecting more from them. Like, they are my friends. They're supposed to support me. They should be sharing my videos. They should be commenting, helping the algorithm. And then I just understood that I know that many of my friends have been there for me in very important moments, but they don't need to be there like constantly, supporting you in the ways that I would expect, for example. And that's okay. And that doesn't mean that they're not friends. But that's just a personal thought that I have now that I think that I'm more mature than before. But but yeah, I used to really doubt who is my friend in order for who is sharing my Instagram reels, supporting me. Now I just let them be and I still love them. And I'm not really expecting that from them. The financial uncertainty. A lot of dreams need money. Some dreams are more expensive than others. And sometimes we don't know if we are going to be able to afford them. We are going to deal with headaches a lot of times, with frustration, with disappointment, with sadness, with judgment, with people telling you what to do constantly, how to do it, why you should not be doing it, or why you should have done it already. And that can be extremely frustrating. And I can tell you for sure because I receive all type of comments of my entire life. People can go very personal into their opinions, totally out of place, and you will have to deal with that as well. I want to come back to this idea that we really need to discern like what is like a real dream from just a temporal desire. Because I know there are many things that we secretly want. I know that many women want to travel, to start a business, to create, to have a relationship, to become mothers, to be a businesswoman, to be a CEO, to be some kind of person that may look very similar to what others are doing. And that is one of the biggest problems that sometimes we as women, we deal with in this social media era, which is comparison. We live in a system that has made us to compare to each other all the time, to compete with each other, to showcase where we are, just to let others know that we are just ahead of them, as if we would be living in a race that leads to I don't know where. So it's really important to ask ourselves, is this actually my dream, or someone else just planted this dream of me, this dream in me because it's trending right now? Do I really want this lifestyle because it's something that would really bring me joy, or is it because everyone is posting about it? Don't forget about the algorithm that listens to us, and whatever that we are thinking of, we suddenly see it in our feed, and then we believe that we actually want it. And maybe it's just not. It's just the internet convincing us to be someone that we are not meant to be, to look like someone that we don't look like, to trying to reach a goal that others are reaching and has nothing to do with us. Let's be careful with the internet and this persuasion that makes you feel like you need to fit, because that can really make you confuse what you really want from what others want from you. Why we abandon our dreams. Fear, a horrible thing to deal with. The ugly enemy that whispers in our ears. Fear of failure, even fear of success. The other day I was having a conversation with someone who was like shocked when I mentioned that I have fear of success sometimes. In my case, I have dreams that are very, very big, and these dreams have consequences. One day in my past, this that I'm doing right now was one of my dreams, and I'm dealing with the consequences. Sometimes a dream in dreams is not all beauty and flowers and rainbows. There's a lot of very uncomfortable things that you need to deal with while living the dream. In my case, I have probably shared this before, but the moment that actually my career kind of went up and I hit more visibility in my life, I was trying to get ready to experience some kind of things. Like, for example, I was working in therapy, the fear to be seen, and the fear of judgment. It's not nice at all to be judged by people who don't really know who you are. It's not nice to receive a level of criticism that all that contains is hatred in a very, very big way. It's not nice to deal with the idea that thousands of people can see you and maybe reject you. And let me be honest, I had to be very, very loyal to myself, because when you start to get some level of visibility, especially here on the internet, and numbers can go from hundreds to thousands, I need to be very loyal to myself to not to start people pleasing. That is something that I know I am not, and I will not. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't like me, because I'm not pleasing them. I'm not giving them what they want. And I think maybe this comes very, very perfect with the idea that I had really worked in my consistency in general for many years in different ways. I used to believe that I was not a consistent person, but the truth is, sometimes I'm not so consistent in some areas of my life, but I'm actually very consistent in other things, in other areas of my life. And that is actually something that happens to everyone. What I want to bring as an example here is that consistency can be something that it's in your own definition. Consistency for you may be just going to the gym 3 times a week and not every single day. Consistency for some people can be once a week and not every single day. Sometimes I really deal, and even though I keep explaining that it's not going to happen, I keep receiving this judgment that I should be consistent, and consistency means to post videos on YouTube every single day. The truth is, I always say that I don't plan to do that. I don't want to be posting videos every single day. I don't, and I will not. I understand that a lot of my viewers come from watching someone that says that you have to post videos every single day in order to be successful. But that is not the only key for YouTube. For many years, some of my favorite YouTubers have been consistent and growing their channels into millions of subscribers just by posting maybe 2 times a week. And that is consistency for them. My consistency doesn't have to be the consistency that others think. There's some things that you can do every single day in order for you to feel consistent. But my consistency is not every single day. My consistency in YouTube will be 2 or 3 videos a week. And that's all I can offer. And as long as I keep myself doing that, I am happy that I'm consistent. And it's been over 2 years since I've been doing that. I had a moment where I was posting every day, and I was just doing it out of pressure. And that wasn't working for me. I found myself just posting because I needed to post, because I needed to do it every single day. And then I just feel like I was being dishonest to myself, because when I post something, I want to create something that brings at least a little value, and not just turn on the camera and just film random things that makes no sense for me. And if I don't like the content that I'm creating, how can I expect others to like it? So that's when I needed to be loyal to myself. And even though I keep getting this, Rocio, we need more consistency from you, I am constant already in my own judgment and what it works for me in my daily life, in my routine. There are some people that maybe just want to read, 4 books a month, and other people that may be able to read 1 book in an entire year, and that doesn't make them any less. I know I have to go at my own pace. I cannot follow other people's timeline, and it's okay if others cannot understand. What's important is that I understand that what I'm doing is the right thing for me, And that's how you should feel about the things you do. Don't let anyone tell you, you should have done this already. If you know how hard you've been trying, how hard you've been working, how hard you've been overthinking nights and nights and nights, making plans, making numbers in your head for things to work in a future that's still uncertain for you. Pursuing my dreams has cost me a lot of comfort. At this point of my life, I am someone that is very comfortable getting out of the comfort zone. And it may sound a little bit tricky, but I really like that feeling when I don't know what is going on and what is going to happen. And I feel terrified, and I really like to do things with all these feelings. Maybe it's just the dopamine that I create with all of that. But I really like getting out of my comfort zone, even though it feels very uncomfortable. But I reached that level because I already did it. The first time of getting out of comfort zones, it wasn't that easy. I wouldn't approach it that fast. I would overthink it hundreds and hundreds of times. But I just need to take one step. Pursuing my dreams has cost me predictability. There are dreams that I've been talking about that I haven't reached yet. And I had to deal with my own frustrations about it, my own self-doubts, and how much others believe in me or they don't. I think it's also something good to be a little jealous with your dreams and not to share them to everyone. Not everybody needs to know your dreams. That can save you a lot of judgment, criticism, and the list goes on. Pursuing my dreams has cost me relationships, friends, lovers, business. A lot of times that I had to walk away from environments that were not helping me. I had to walk away from places. I had to say goodbye to people that I was very attached to, very in love with. People that I thought that they would be part of my life forever. Security. The truth is, I am very unsure of how many things in my life will develop. Even though I may have an infinite faith in many of my dreams, I don't know if I'm really going to reach them, if I'm going to achieve them. I don't know if maybe one day I get tired and I just give up. I don't know. I don't know if I maybe get distracted and I just lose my way. Or if I'm going to find something that looks better and I will just decide to flip, I have desires that have taken so many years that I still don't know if I'm going to make them true. And there are some other dreams that I've had for years. And I just had that feeling, that fire that never went off. I traveled for the first time alone when I was 23 years old. And I dreamed about it since I can remember. I waited more than 20 years to make my dream come true. And today is just a part of my life. Today is just a reality. I waited 23 to sit on an airplane for the first time. And today is part of my routine almost. I always had that feeling that I was going to make it come true. That fire has never faded about traveling. I wasn't very sure if life would make me a traveler, like someone that actually travels pretty often or actually works traveling, or I don't know, whatever that would make me get to know the world, because that was my intention. Or maybe if I would have been someone that can take a 15 days vacations maybe once a year. I didn't know, but I always had that just flaming in my heart. And I'm very grateful that eventually happened, but I waited 23 years. My dream career, my music career, has shaped into many different forms. And I have different versions of my music career already, and I haven't reached other ideas that I thought that I wanted. There's some ways that I thought that I wanted my career to develop, that I just don't want them anymore. And I always explain that sometimes when I speak about my music career, that people maybe think that I just want to be like Beyonce and have extreme fame and all of that. That was maybe a desire when I was 16, but then my desire was fluctuating and changing, and until today I still asking myself how easy that I want to pursue my career. Like, how would I like my career to look like today? Or why is it that I really want it? One day I felt that God has put the seed on me to make podcast. I started to have this feeling in my heart that I was someone that was born to communicate somehow, and that I had always defined myself by singing. Of course, I'm using my voice when I sing, and of course, I can communicate through music. But I started to realize that I'm actually very good at talking. I'm actually very good at communicating. I really like writing. I had a moment where I used to write, and that I was communicating in different ways. And I was able to notice that, okay, Rocio, you can use your voice in many ways. So I started to have this desire in my heart that I wanted to create a podcast and start sharing my own personal experiences and my transformation and my stories and whatever I feel inspired to talk to. I started to kind of manifest that into getting the gear that I needed. I got myself a microphone, I got myself a stand, I created the whole Spotify page. I desired a name, I created a name, I took some pictures, I did a photo shoot, and I created everything. And just recording the first episode took me a lot of time. I had everything ready, but I didn't start recording the episodes. When I would sit and start to talk and start to record, I would just get frustrated. I wouldn't say anything, and I would feel like, no, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I'm not ready. But I know that I didn't need to be ready. I just needed maybe practice. I just needed to maybe start recording or maybe try another day. I recorded 5 episodes in Spanish of that podcast, and I just let it be. It's resting there. And I felt very frustrated for that. I wasn't happy with myself because of that. I felt like I was abandoning. I really got distracted. There was a lot of changes in my life in that moment, and I really didn't have the energy of that in that moment to focus on that. But sometimes, I get this energy of doing something and I go all in, and then I just click. Everything seems to vanish. And I get very frustrated with that in many situations in my life. And I can tell you that has been more than 2 years, maybe 3 years ago, that has happened. And look at me today. I'm being able to sit in front of a camera, to turn this microphone on, and I can just talk and talk and talk, and no one can stop me. And, I feel like now I'm ready. But that seed was planted long time ago. And just because I had that fierce feeling and energy to start doing it, I really had to go through a lot of scenarios in my life in order for me to feel ready without even noticing. Like today I'm podcasting here, and it's very easy for me. I really enjoy it, and I really like to talk to you and discuss a lot of things, and I'm really enjoying this episode. Sometimes I can even tell you that I enjoy more to do this than blogging my life. And that's where I kind of really wonder, and I really observe this thing that, I started in that moment and I kind of felt like I wasn't ready. And now I just did it, and I found myself feeling ready or being ready for it. But the process of who I became in order for me to be here today talking like friends here, because that's how I feel with you, it really took me other little steps that I had to take. And I don't know, just now I'm here, and And this feels easy for me and I enjoy it. But if I would have think 3 years ago that I had to wait 3 years to be ready, poof, frustration level 10. Because I was frustrated already, because I started, I did it, I created the podcast and everything. I'm not even using it. There's 5 episodes over there on Spotify. It's in Spanish. And many times I want to restart that podcast in Spanish because I do miss speaking Spanish, But here I am. Maybe my destiny was different. Maybe my destiny was meant to speak in English for the whole world and not just for Spanish speakers that sometimes are a minority compared to the English level. I just don't know, but I know that I'm here today. This seed that it used to be a dream is now a reality. The thing is, every dream costs something. But the question here is, what will it cost if you never try? I think it's very important as well to understand the timing for this. And maybe I'm just saying, I'm using this vocabulary, but sometimes we don't really even need to understand what is going on. We need to trust. When it comes to my music, it took me a very long time to finish my songs to a number that I can call an album. Let's say 12 songs, which it doesn't seem to be like a lot, but I had unfinished songs for years. Then I set my mind to finish them. I was just putting a lot of expectations in how it should be, how the lyrics should be, how the sound should be. And I wasn't able to do all of that by myself. I'm a basic guitar player. I cannot do extremely good things. I'm not a drum player. So whatever that's in my hand sounding like that, I cannot do it by myself. So I allowed myself to be simple in how I created my songs. And I created songs with very basic chords. And I knew that whenever the time was ready, I was going to be able to get together with more minds and more creative people, and they would help me do my songs correctly. That actually happened. I prepared a private concert, like more intimate with close friends, where I played all my songs with a band. I had a bass player, a drum player, two guitar players, and it was me. I found a beautiful house, beachfront, and I sang with the sunset behind me, and it was an amazing day. And that's how I saw all my songs developing and changing. And I'm so grateful that I had my friends, my musicians, who helped me create and be part of this dream that took me a whole process to create. Then I felt like I was ready to, I have these songs now. The next step is to record them. My destiny changed completely, and I just moved abroad to somewhere where my music career had a pause. That it wasn't really forced. It was something that I felt that it was needed in the moment. So instead of pursuing the recording songs dream, to not making music at all. And let me be honest, when I had really put a lot of own expectations, own criticism, own judgment about my whole career and what it should look like, that those moments where I'm not singing, I had a lot of moments where I didn't sing. I even had a pause of 3 years that I didn't sing at all after my brother passed away. And it really took me a long time of feeling frustrated because I wasn't doing it. And every time that I'm not doing it, I'm very mean to myself. I I'm very hard on myself because I'm not doing it until I find this kindness, and then I allow myself to understand that it was necessary for me to stop for some time. When I became a mother, I literally decided that I wanted to go through my pregnancy and enjoy the pregnancy, and I was very positively accepting the pause in my singing. I wasn't even feeling this. The truth is, sometimes I had moments where I don't even want to sing. And it feels weird and I'm not so happy about it, but sometimes I don't want to sing. And yeah, I do have to deal with all of that, but it is a process. It is a process, and I know things change, and I know I already been there. I already been there in the post feeling frustrated, as I've also been there where I'm able to reconnect with the music and fall in love with the music and be singing every single day. And I went through it already. So I kind of know how to navigate it at this point. In my own judgment, I took the pregnancy as a pause, and then I say, okay, when I give birth, I will reconnect with the music and I will record my album. Almost the day after I gave birth, I already wanted to put myself to work, because I have to do it, because I already gave myself permission for too long and I have to do it. It was impossible. I was very frustrated. There was no creativity. I felt totally disconnected from the songs that I wrote before. I felt like I was no longer that person. I felt like that music was immature. The lyrics were immature. I needed to look more advanced in music. A lot of things, a lot of bullshit. And then I accepted that I needed to be somewhere else, that my energy needed to be with my newborn, and I didn't have to force myself to do it. Slowly, I started to reconnect with my voice and with my desires and with what is it that I want to do. And all of that is just happening behind the curtains. Like, I'm not really sharing all this process with anyone. I'm just sharing with you right now what is it that I'm going through. Well, I mentioned a little bit of times all of this with my creative process in my music career, and I still have no idea what is it that I want with my music career. I know only God knows what is meant for me, and that's why I totally surrender to his will. But I still finding those moments in my heart where I can reconnect, and I can also step away and just give it a rest. And I learned to understand that when I'm resting from something, I'm not actually doing nothing. And this is something that has become huge for me to understand. When that dream is on pause, it doesn't mean that it's not growing. A seed grows deep inside of the soil, in the dark. You don't know what's going on, but it's growing. A baby, it's growing in the dark, inside of our womb. And it looks like nothing is happening, but it is growing. The person that I am becoming, in order for me to sustain the dream or what is meant to be for my dreams, is happening right now while I'm not doing, or while I think that I'm not doing. So be kind to yourself. I should be saying, I should be kind to myself. I tried, but I'm still learning. Especially if you are like a big dreamer like me and you think that you should be achieving, or life is just passing you by and you're not just where you think that you are supposed to be. You are where you are supposed to be right now. And it's okay. And you are in perfect timing. Yes, we do need to take actions in order to achieve things. But if for whatever reason you think that nothing is happening right now and you're just frustrated, something is growing in the darkness. What pursuing my dreams has given me? Freedom, confidence, growth, meaning, purpose, beautiful experiences. Everything that looks ugly and beautiful at the same time was absolutely needed. And I want to talk as a mother right now for a little bit, because one of the nice compliments that I get is the fact that I am still pursuing my dreams while being a mother. And I remember once I received a comment from someone telling me that as a mother, I should be sacrificing all my desires of traveling and doing this and doing that, ABCD, because being a mother means to sacrifice. So I should be giving up everything to take care of my kid today. And I wouldn't say that I was shocked with that comment, but I was kind of feeling a little bit sorry for the person who wrote it. We see life very different. Maybe you see life very different than what I see. But please don't let anybody tell you how you are supposed to live your life. I know many women, even our mothers, our grandmothers, they had to give up their entire life in order to take care of you or their children's or others. And that is extremely valuable. And yes, that is also sacrifice. Maybe they did it because they had to. Maybe they did it because they think that that was the right thing to do. And they forgot about themselves. Probably many of those women today are very frustrated women. And I don't want to be someone like that. I don't want my kids in the future to say, you know what? My mom sacrificed her life, her dreams, her career to take care of us. I want my kids to tell the world that mommy made her dreams come true with us holding our hands, with our company. And she showed us what is possible. And she showed us not to give up. Which it doesn't mean that I'm in the right line. I know that my decisions will cost me other things. Right now, I'm extremely grateful that I spent a lot of time with my kid. But maybe in the future I need to travel, without him for a week. And that would cost me time with him. Everything costs at some point. It's important to make those decisions from the heart and to make decisions that we will not regret later. It's important to find balance. As I'm telling you, this is my first year of motherhood, and I'm not singing as much as I want to be singing. Maybe. I've also confessed that I'm very happy not singing sometimes. I'm very happy just waking up to make breakfast to my child. And that's how I feel today. But it doesn't really mean that I'm giving up something or that I'm giving up those dreams. Because in my heart, it's important to make my dreams come true for my kids. And in my case, as a mother, I feel now even stronger. I feel like now I have more reasons to make my dreams come true. I feel like I cannot let my kids down. But I'm not saying that just not doing all of that is wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me out of context. Everything that I said in this episode is just my own personal experience and opinion. And I might be wrong, I might be right. You may think like me or you may disagree. Take from my words whatever that serves you and just leave the rest. My advice from you, if you have a dream, stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect timing. Start today even if it's very, very small. Take only one step this week. You don't need every day. Maybe once a week is your perfect consistency. And trust that your clarity will come when you move. Sometimes your dreams will not grow in your head. Your dreams will grow when you take the action, in the action. Your dream is not asking you to be fearless. Your dream is simply asking you to be brave enough to begin. Not next year, not when everything is perfect, not when you feel ready. Now, because remember, your future is being built in the small decisions that you make today. I hope you enjoy this episode. I feel like I could have talked for 3 hours more, but it's already pretty long. Just let me know in the comments down below. What is one dream that you've been carrying in your heart that you haven't fully given yourself permission to pursue? And I'm asking you this because, you know why? when you're typing on the comments and when you say it out loud, that is a very brave first step. Thank you. I will see you on the next one. Bye.